Hi, it is Robbie from Southern California, which is important right now to know, in the garden. I've been sitting here all morning and I've been doing a lot of photography work out here. And then I noticed there's a bird that's missing here. Oh, there's a few of them, but one in particular. Why? Because there's so many when they're here by the hundreds, and we feed so much seed out to them. The one that disappeared in one day, yesterday, was the white-crowned sparrow. Now, they are absolutely gorgeous. They've got the white and black on the head and that orangey little beak. The males and females look alike, and the immatures are duller in color. They don't have the real black. They're more of a brown stripe. They come here every year around the end of summer and the beginning of September, and they stay until it's nesting time. When it's nesting time, they take off and they go up north and they go to Santa Barbara and different places, and that's where they hang out until they have their babies, and when it's all done, they're back here. Another bird that disappears this time of the year is the yellow rump warbler. Not completely. A few of them seem to stay here. I'll see the sightings of them zipping around the yard eating insects. But a lot of them take off in different areas because they need a lot of food to feed their babies. We had tons of them here last month, and now you see them periodically. But that's the trade-off. There's a lot of birds that are here all year, of course, and then there's birds that come in now, like the grosbeak. They suddenly showed up, males and females, and they are all over the yard, but we have something really exciting that showed up this morning, and we'll get into that in a minute. The grosbeaks come in, and they love the sunflower I put out. Now, the reason these birds are coming here and nesting all over the property is we have built a bird garden where it has designated feeders. Now, when I say that, do I have signs up so they know where to go? Of course not. They know themselves what feeder is safe for them. We have a lot of spice finches here, and they get bullied by other birds, pushed around because they're so tiny and they're actually introduced. They're not native here at all. But we went from just having a couple to now having, wow, I don't know, dozens and dozens come in at one time. By giving them safe areas to feed, that changed their habit of leaving here at nesting time, wherever they go, looking for their small seeds and the food they needed, to staying here. And now they're staying here and having multiple nests. And how do I know that? Their babies are dull in color, and they have tons of them. So we now know that we've kind of changed their breeding habit as far as where they go. Again, they're not native to the United States, so they had to come up with what works best for them. What was exciting this morning, sitting in the garden, as I was photographing a different bird, Gary says, look in the feeder you made, the new feeder.
Yep, on the feeder. On the feeder.
And I look up and it's like, wait a minute, that's not a spice finch. Oh my gosh, lazuli bunting. They are absolutely beautiful. They're a bunting that live in Central America all through the winter because that's where it's warm and they have all their food that they need. And they are native to the United States as well as Central America. And they come up here to breed, and they'll go far up. I mean, they're even in Montana. With their coloring, they are a sight to see. Oh my goodness. I saw them many years ago. I was actually looking and I thought I saw something. It was like, what is that? And it just, boom, took off. But I wrote down the time and I started going back in the bird garden at the same time and eventually found them in the garden. Now, they are sometimes difficult to spot and they're very shy. But obviously, this one has found the feeder designated for small birds and has now decided that he's going to hang out, which means he's been there when I'm not around because he was quite comfortable with me sitting there. And look how happy he is. He's got a feeder that he can reach down and grab whatever seeds he wants. And even when he's pushed over by a big bird, like the grosbeak, he can dart into the plants. And now he feels completely safe. Those plants, by the way, are edible. They're all brassicas behind him and a fig tree. So where did he go? He went into the brush, and now he is back. Knowing he can choose another feeder to go into, and even if he had to dart away, he is safe in cage I made from the parts from the dollar store, a Dollar Tree. And you can go check out that video if you want to make them. I actually had designed these for the spice finches, so Gary wanted to make sure they felt safe and would continue to feed and stay here, which they do. But this was unexpected. I did not think I was going to bring the Azuli in and make them feel this safe that I can sit out in my garden and enjoy their beautiful coloring and beautiful song. This has been a surprise. So we do have trade-offs all through the year, and it's wonderful to have the variety of birds that we have here. Thousands of birds, 60 species of small birds now that come to our garden. And you can do that too by designating feeders. I mean, we even put feeders up for the scrub jays that come in. We try to make sure that they know this is theirs by putting peanuts in there because they can be quite feisty to some of the other birds. And then we have the songbirds that not only, as you can see them now feeding, but they have babies in the garden here. So it's all worked out so wonderful. And as many of you know, we feed hummingbirds and orioles, but we also feed them in a separate area. So I've designated feeders for them to keep them out of the garden so they stay away from the small birds. It's all worked out. That's another video for another time. And yes, we have a lot of different visitors that come, and then the birds that stay here all year, like the goldfinches and the house finches, they all get along good, and you never know what's going to be roaming through the garden. Though the white crowns are now gone, and we will miss them, we do know that they will come back, feeding in the garden with the rabbit, Notch, that has been living here for about a year. And they'll be back in the summer when the time is right, either the end of summer or just early fall. So we have a whole group of birds that come and go. Today was just kind of like a update to let you know that the white crowns have left, but other birds, to our excitement, that we didn't even expect this morning showed up. So it's all worked out really well. I'm so excited to see the azulas. I hope they nest here. I heard them singing in the bushes, and I thought I heard multiple males, which means they could be staking out their territory and building a nest along with all the other birds that are building the nests around here. And we're going to make sure that they have enough food so they stay here and breathe their hearts out and eat their hearts out and bathe. As you know, we make so many different types of water fountains for small birds, big birds, everybody. And maybe I'll be coming back soon showing you the babies flying around the yard. But either way, whatever they choose to do, they know what's right. I'm going to sit back every morning, have my cup of coffee, and watch the birds feed, bathe, sing, and enjoy themselves in the garden. You could do it too. It's really easy. I have a lot of tutorials on how to make different feeders and water fountains, and this will bring in the birds. Remember, running water always attracts birds. With that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.